Next way to become a cloud computing millionaire would be joining a growing cloud computing startup. So in other words, you're getting into the high-tech space, you're looking for some sort of a startup that's venture funded, and you're joining that startup either as a founder or someone who's closely after the founders, and you're taking a significant role. So your CTO, your Chief Cloud Strategy Officer, you're running DevOps, you're running R&D, whatever, and you're taking a significant valuable position within the company. In other words, they're depending on you to do a particular role and function. And for doing that, they're paying you a salary, which is normally going to be competitive. But the big thing is that they're paying you an equity position as well. They're giving you stock. And that's how you make the money with the startups. And normally this isn't going to be a year to get to your big payout. This is going to be 3 to 5 years that you're working at the company, normally for a little bit lower than market, but they don't starve to death. And you're betting on the fact that the company is going to build its value up over the next 3 to 5 years, and then some sort of an exit is going to occur. Either the company goes public, where you have the stock and you're able to sell it on the open market for a lot of money, hopefully, if the company is successful. And we're seeing lots of startups who are coming out as IPOs that are extremely successful and extremely lucrative for the people who are working within the company. Or your company is sold, which happens more than companies going public. So in other words, you sell your company to a larger company, your stock vests on the change of control, and next thing you know, you're a millionaire, which is pretty cool. I've done this a few times in my career. Most of them have panned out, some of them haven't, but it's a lot of fun because it's a little bit more bet and a little bit more risk in this kind of scenario versus the sole proprietor consulting stuff we just went over. You're always going to make money in that scenario. In this one, you're going to get a salary, but you may find that you're working for a company for 2 or 3 years and the company shuts its door or has some sort of a falling out with the market and just goes away, and you go away with just the money they paid you in salary, which means your equity positions that they paid you as well are basically going to be worthless. And it happens a lot. So you got to consider the risk in getting into this. In other words, make sure you study the company, study the market it's going into, study the role that you're able to have within the company and how you're going to bring value to the company in putting in that role, and what's the likely of them getting to a lucrative exit, when that's likely to occur, and when are you going to get your big check. So this is one way to become a cloud computing millionaire.